Downtown Vancouver, going to be another beautiful day. Thanks for joining us. Well, passengers traveling through Canada's 4 biggest airports, including YVR, will now have their temperature checked. It's part of a mandatory screening process by Transport Canada. Our Mike Yawney has more details for us this morning. He joins us now from the airport in Calgary. Hi, Mike. How's it going?
Good morning, Mary. You know what? You just missed the excitement. It was actually busy here at security. It almost looked like a normal travel day just about 5 minutes ago, and now it's kind of cleared up again. We know that air travel, not as many people are flying right now, so this is just one more thing that Transport Canada wants to do to make us feel more comfortable when it takes to, flying this summer. So here's how it works. There's 4 major airports, as you'd mentioned, here in Calgary. Of course, for VT Vancouver viewers, Vancouver Airport is under this effect as well, Toronto and Montreal. Temperature checks before you get to security. Now, there's 2 methods. There's the handheld method with the handheld thermometers that some will be using, but the major airports like Vancouver and Calgary are using these guys right here that you see behind me. These are thermal cameras, and what you do is you basically walk up to it, you look into the camera, and within a second or two, it shows your temperature. But what's really interesting, Mary, is what it looks for. It actually looks at the temperature right underneath your eyes, right by your tear ducts. That's where it's looking for the temperature. So if you're wearing glasses, you'll have to take them off. If you're wearing anything on your head, where it's a hat, you'll have to take that off as well. Now, if you test 38 degrees or higher, you'll be asked to step aside, and they'll wait 10 minutes. They'll then bring you back in for a secondary test. If you're still 38 degrees or higher, you'll be asked basically to leave. They'll tell you you cannot proceed through security. You're going to have to go home because you can't board your flight. So that's basically how it's going to be working, Mary.
Now, I have been hearing a lot of people have been expressing concern online because a lot of people get nervous when they fly, so they naturally get a little bit warm, maybe a little sweaty. What would they do for someone that might not necessarily have a fever, but their temperature still might be high?
Right, so when you go, if you do test high and they take you away for 10 minutes, they're hoping that by taking off your mask and just relaxing for a few minutes, that's going to bring your temperature down. There are some people, though, Mary, that do have medical conditions that automatically their body temperature is higher than others. So they are saying if that is you, you should bring medical documentation to prove that you have a condition, and that's why your temperature might run a little bit high. And then even if you are 38 degrees or higher, they will let you proceed through security. But if you don't have that and you do score high on the temperature twice in a row, they'll ask you to leave. There is no 3 times the charm. They said there will not be a 3rd test. It's 1, 2, and then unfortunately you're out. The other thing that some people are wondering about is lineups. What does this mean for lineups for security? I point back there like there's going to be a lineup. I'm expecting a lineup at security. So they don't really know. I did talk to the airport here in Calgary, and they said they've actually set up a brand new route. So we're actually standing right on it for people to line up, because they said there could be some delays. The temperature check is pretty instantaneous, but of course at the point they just don't know because they're rolling it out literally in 45 minutes from now, so they don't know what to expect. So it'll be interesting to see if lineups are impacted.
Very interesting. One more thing we have to remember if we're going to be taking a flight here in Canada. Mike Yawney, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Mary.
All right, that is Mike Yawney joining us from the airport in Calgary.